Ever felt that squeezing sensation in your chest as anxiety takes hold? Those relentless thoughts that keep you awake all night? Those tomorrow-focused anxieties that hijack your current moments? What if I told you there's a single phrase, just 3 simple words, that has the power to dissolve anxiety the moment it appears? Neuroscience researchers have investigated this phrase's brain impact, and their discoveries will revolutionize your approach to stress indefinitely. Nevertheless, before I share these powerful words, you need to do something this instant. Tap that subscription button and switch on notifications, because this information may determine whether you live anxiously or peacefully. Utilizing gathered studies from international educational institutions and official public health resources, this content was designed to present contemporary information expressly for the 60-plus demographic. At this juncture, let me inquire something frank. What percentage of your years has been invested in stressing over things that remained imaginary? What count of lovely occasions have you failed to notice because your awareness was confined to either tomorrow's fantasies or yesterday's pain? The fact remains that anxiety doesn't inhabit the current moment. This cannot happen. Anxiety perpetually relates to either what could occur or what has occurred. It feeds on time that doesn't exist right now. And this is precisely when the shift occurs. The statement that eradicates anxiety is just, I am here now. Just 3 words, 9 letters, infinite power. As these words are spoken with sincere awareness, something astonishing occurs in your neural pathways. Studies employing functional brain imaging indicate that present moment consciousness swiftly reduces the amygdala's activity, where fear resides, while simultaneously elevating the prefrontal cortex's function, which handles reasoning and emotional management. Though this isn't merely a matter of neurotransmitters. This involves recovering your life from the oppression of invented perils. Reflect on this. At this specific point in time, are you well? Not about tomorrow's uncertainties, not next week's possibilities, not in those late-night mind-created scenes. At this precise time, the reply is typically yes. Currently, you're breathing. In this instant, you're protected. In this very moment, you hold everything necessary to be completely present. Most people over 60 carry decades of accumulated worries. We've seen enough to recognize that adverse situations can arise. We've undergone loss, dissatisfaction, and wellness obstacles. Due to these experiences, our consciousness becomes excessively alert, perpetually searching for upcoming dangers. This is what psychologists call anticipatory anxiety, and it's exhausting. It resembles racing in a marathon without moving. Your organism cannot differentiate between genuine threats and mental fabrications. As you worry regarding tomorrow's medical visit, your cardiac rate spikes, blood pressure increases, and stress hormones saturate your system, as though the threat were immediately occurring. This continual stress isn't just unpleasant. It truly accelerates biological aging and undermines your immune response. Here's an impactful revelation from Harvard University researchers. When people practice present moment awareness regularly, their bodies produce less cortisol, the primary stress hormone, and more DHEA, often called a longevity molecule. Merely by bringing your focus back to now, you're actually choosing well-being over pathology, calmness over pandemonium. I'd like to relate a narrative that exemplifies this wonderfully. There was a man named Robert, 72 years old, who spent his days consumed by anxiety about his heart condition. Every dawn he rose to check his heartbeat, track every feeling, certain that each day might be his last. His wife watched him disappear into this prison of worry until one day, sitting in his garden, he noticed a butterfly land on a flower nearby. For only a few seconds, his mind fell totally quiet. His heart wasn't a source of worry. He wasn't thinking about tomorrow. He was only viewing this butterfly, entirely present at that time. And in that second, he recognized something important. His anxiety wasn't guarding him. It was obstructing his ability to live. From that day forth, anytime anxiety arose, he'd say to himself, I am here now, and move his attention to something in his immediate vicinity, a sound, a sensory experience, his breath. Through time, this uncomplicated practice reshaped his existence more significantly than any medication. At this point, I'd like you to stop this video briefly, just 5 seconds, and attempt this personally. Pronounce aloud, I am here now. Perceive your physical presence in the seat. Sense the air touching your skin. Notice the auditory sensations surrounding you. Notice how rapidly your worry decreases when you genuinely enter the now. This isn't about optimistic thoughts or denial. This is something far more powerful. It's reality. The now is the sole moment with actual existence. Everything beyond this is either memory or fantasy. As you comprehend this profoundly, not merely mentally but through direct experience, anxiety releases its hold on you. You realize that you've been suffering over things that literally aren't real right now. And before we progress, your help is needed in disseminating this message. Comment with a number 1 if this makes sense to you, or 0 if you're questioning it. Your interaction supports this video in finding those who critically need this information. Now then, let's discuss utilizing this phrase effectively, particularly during severe anxiety episodes. The essential element isn't using it as an instrument to fight anxiety, trying to eliminate the anxious feelings. Instead, use it as an anchor, a gentle reminder to return home to the present moment. As you observe anxiety building, stop, breathe in gently. Say, I am here now, either out loud or silently. Then involve your sensory awareness. What's visible to you? What's audible to you? What do you physically sense? This uncomplicated practice stops the anxiety cycle before it intensifies. Brain science demonstrates you cannot be completely present and completely anxious at the same time. They're opposing conditions. Presence banishes anxiety just as light banishes darkness, not through battling, but simply through presence. For people over 60, this practice is uniquely valuable since we commonly carry not only current anxieties, but also collected worry from years of life challenges. We could fret about wellness, monetary concerns, our offspring or their children, or becoming dependent. These are real concerns, but worrying about them doesn't solve them. It simply prevents us from embracing the beautiful moments we still have. Taking steps solves problems. Presence brings us tranquility. Worrying delivers neither. Here's what makes this phrase so transformative. It works immediately, it costs nothing, it has no side effects, and you can use it anywhere, anytime. So here's your challenge. Each time you detect anxiety emerging, employ the phrase, I am here now. Articulate it with presence. Come back to your senses. And this is what I need you to do at this moment.